When I started out this channel, I made a lot of college videos and videos about my time at school and being a business major, and I've gotten a lot of requests to do this video about why I chose to be a marketing major, what marketing is, just details about it, my experience with it. I feel like I have been prolonging making this video because I genuinely was very confused with what marketing was myself, trying to say it out loud to people and explain it to people in a very easy way and in a very like, is this right for you sense is very hard, because I don't want to steer anybody wrong. I don't want to give anybody the wrong impression, if that makes sense, just because a lot of people watching this are probably people that are deliberating if marketing is right for them. Before we actually start this video, I want to disclose that please take everything I say with a grain of salt. It's just my personal opinion and my personal experience with marketing. I hope this helps you. If not, I'm sorry. I'll tell you about how I got into marketing. When I was a senior in high school, that's when I started applying to colleges, and that's when I had to decide which school I wanted to apply to within those universities. For me, it was kind of obvious that I wanted to be in business school. My whole family was in business, and my brother went to NYU Stern, which is a business school. So that was kind of a no-brainer. It was like, okay, I'll just continue the legacy, and it's not like I'm particularly interested in anything else. I was never too good at history. I was never too good at science. As I was brainstorming, you know, having those candid conversations with my parents and my brother about what major might fit me, we just kind of talked about my interests, and my interests were really just about like not dreading my work. So not being in investment banking, you know, actually having a nice work-life balance. Granted, when I was having these conversations back in senior year of high school, I didn't know what a work-life balance was, but I just remember saying like, I don't want to hate my job. I want to work in something that I'm actually passionate about. As a senior in high school talking about this, I was pretty ignorant. So now I'll get into how I didn't even know what marketing was, and it was my parents and my brother who actually said, you know, why don't you just do marketing as a major? It matches your personality. And they didn't really know what marketing was either. No one knew what marketing was because it's very hard to put into words. All I heard was that it would fit my personality, that it had something to do with advertising and, you know, like commercials, whatever, billboards, all that flashy stuff. So I was like, cool. And they were saying that it kind of ties into like sales and like you have to do pitches. I'm a very good public speaker, or I like to be. And I also want to specify that going into college, you don't need to have your major set. I think. I remember just applying to the business school and not deeming my major. For me personally, at Rutgers University, you deem your major after sophomore year or during sophomore year going into junior year. So you have the 2 first years of college to kind of decipher what was working for you, because you'll take a bunch of core business classes and then from those intro classes see like which ones you liked best. Yeah, you don't need to know your major going into school, but for some reason my family had that conversation and was like, let's build a mindset going into it about what you're probably going to end up doing. It was more so like they told me to major in marketing and I was like, sure, like that sounds okay. I was just happy to be going to business school because that was the one thing I knew. I wanted to be in business. I didn't know which major in business it was. Now, let's talk about the definition. Throughout the 4 years of college, I definitely had to memorize the definition of marketing like maybe 5 times, but I do not know it on the top of my head, so I'm just gonna read it off of my handy dandy Google search. The definition of marketing that I have here says that marketing, a noun, is the action or business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research and advertising. Here's another one I just found from AMA.org. Marketing is the activity, set of institutions and processes for creating, communicating, delivering, and exchanging offerings that have value for customers, clients, partners, and society at large. I think that's a really good definition as well. If you're kind of confused on how this is different from sales, it's more like the strategy part towards sales and figuring out what works and what direction you want to go in, like who you want to sell it to, and like how you're going to sell it, how you're going to pitch it, how you're going to show its value to the consumers, whereas sales is more so on the literal end of selling, where you're like, hey, do you want to purchase this? That's to my knowledge, by the way. Basically, marketing, sales, different, but they do crossover is the word I was looking for. I also should mention that most, like all aspects of business crosses over, so it's not just business and sales. Next, we're going to talk about the difference between a marketing and communication major. The easiest way to describe it, communications is basically the same thing as marketing, but there's more writing and no math. I'm not too sure what the difference is between what you actually get out of your curriculum in those 4 years, because I was never a communications major. But I know that a lot of the time, the jobs you look for coming out of college as a marketing major and as a communications major is the same. So a lot of communication majors will look for marketing jobs, and also marketing majors will look for communications or like public relations.
I want to clarify something because I kind of made it seem like both these majors you can get the same job with, so it's kind of pointless to go to marketing if it's like a ton of harder classes. Okay, so communications, the jobs would be more like media related, press, PR, like writing stuff. Marketing, with that degree, you have the opportunity to go into like market research, marketing analytics. There's just like a small overlap with the jobs that you can find with both these majors, which is more like social media, brand communications, that stuff.
Marketing is in business school, communications is not marketing. You have to learn about finance, accounting, and take those classes, and also math. You're just required to be a part of more business classes. So that includes business ethics, a lot of finance classes, accounting classes, supply chain. What else is there? Coding, a little bit of coding, and then communications. I know that my friends were constantly always writing essays, always writing papers and stuff like that. You're working on how you can efficiently communicate. Hence the title, communications. I'm really just basing these questions off of what I personally would have liked to know going into college. The next thing I'm going to talk about is what the curriculum looks like and how you really only learn what marketing truly is via internships. So the curriculum for me specifically, with my experience at Rutgers, the first 2 years of university is all core classes. You'll take like classes that pertain to all majors. You'll take calculus, you'll take writing. The next 2 years, junior and senior year, that's when you got more niche into your major, because sophomore year going into junior year, that's when you deem your major. That's when you start planning your junior year schedule to incorporate more classes specific to your major, because you can't take those classes until you officially say that I am this major. Okay, so personally, here's where I'm gonna get to the second half of this topic. Even though I took these niche classes during junior and senior year, where I genuinely thought I learned what marketing was is during my internship experiences. During my sophomore year of college, I got really frustrated because I was at school for marketing, but I wasn't learning what marketing was because I was taking all these core classes. I was taking classes that had nothing to do with marketing, maybe one class. I was so interested, but school wasn't teaching that to me, which is very flawed on the education system's part. That's why I sought an internship, and that's when I first interned with Rutgers Athletics, working in sports marketing specifically for a league or specifically for a team, and being on the ground during game day. That is one of the most hands-on position you can have in marketing, because you are literally in charge of your fans' experience. You literally have to be there interacting with fans and marketing on the go. I'm very grateful for it because that was such a great entryway for me. And my next internship working with IMG, which was an agency, I learned the depths of marketing. I had no idea that brand management was a part of marketing. And I'll talk about this a little later in the video, but marketing is an umbrella, not just one vertical. And that's the year I found out that that was the case. And then finally, when I interned with Adidas, that's when I got a really good glimpse of what it'd be like working full-time in marketing, because I was working side by side with the assistant managers. This is the topic that I just said that I would mention later in the video, but here we are later in the video talking about it. The topic is that marketing is an umbrella and not just one vertical. I didn't know anything about marketing going into marketing. If you didn't know this, I didn't know this. Marketing is an umbrella, and under marketing, there are many different verticals. That's the best way that I can describe it, especially visually. I thought marketing was point blank just marketing. I did not know there were so many different types of marketing. And now I will share with you guys some types of marketing that I Googled, because I do not know on the top of my head. Digital marketing, search engine marketing, content marketing, social media marketing, video marketing, email marketing, conversational marketing. I don't think that's a real one. Influencer marketing, acquisition marketing, product marketing, experiential marketing. So as you can tell, there is a lot of verticals to marketing. I don't even know. There's just so much. So don't worry. You'll figure it out. Okay, next topic is, it's very important to know that marketing does include math and analysis, number crunching at times, or reading graphs, building charts, building graphs, Excel, crazy things on Excel. You can do crazy things on Excel. I think that's something that people tend to forget when they see all the flashy stuff of marketing, when they see the cool partnerships that David Dobrik is doing with SeatGeek, or like the cool partnerships that Honey's doing with people. That's all marketing, but all of that came from a ton of figuring out what's most profitable for the company, what's most effective, who's the target audience, who's the best influencer to pick, and compare it with other influencers. There is data analysis involved in marketing. Next question, or next topic, is the starting salary for marketing entry-level jobs. And this is also something that's very subjective. It's based on your location, it's based on company, it's based on everything. There's so many factors, but I'm just gonna tell you what I have been told about it, what I know about it. There's really not one starting salary. Entry level means just coming out of college, you're fresh. The starting salary is anywhere between 45K and 75K. You can give or take within that range. There are companies that even pay less than 45,000, and there are companies that pay more than 75,000. Here's something you have to kind of accept as a marketing major. You will be foregoing salary compared to your finance friends, your accounting friends. Their starting salaries are close to 6 digits, if not 6 digits. But you are gaining a way better work-life balance. I feel like people assume that when you are in marketing, you are less smart. You are just creative. You can't do anything that involves numbers. It's a very creative major, but also that's a different part of your brain that you have to exercise, and is very hard and doesn't come naturally to many people. So I hate that assumption, because it's just not true. It's a different type of thinking. I think if those finance majors or accounting majors tried marketing and tried to be successful in marketing, it would be very hard for them, much like it would be very hard for me to try to succeed in finance or accounting. I was just venting. The topic was starting salary for marketing, and I don't know how I got here. This is the last topic, and it is, how do you succeed in marketing? With college specifically, in order to succeed in marketing, it's the same thing as every other class. Just pay attention, you know, study hard. Succeeding beyond school, I would say get into internships early. The typical time to get your first internship is the summer going into junior year. But honestly, if you're interested, if you're eager, I would try to start during your sophomore year. I started during school, but also if you can get an internship, you know, that summer going into sophomore year, it's very hard. It's pretty much unheard of, especially for marketing. I mean, if you can get it, get it. The more experience you have, especially in present day society, the better for marketing. Everyone's path is just very different. There's really no one successful path. How to be successful in marketing in college is just make sure it's something you're actually interested in, and it'll just come easy to you. And then internships, just be ahead of it, you know, be proactive. With internships, people just want to invest in someone who is eager and who is driven and passionate and easy to work with. That is it for this whole video on marketing, my experience with marketing at school, and you know, why I chose it, what it was like, things like that. If you have any questions, please leave a comment down below and I will try to answer them to the best of my ability. Just say whatever you want in the comments. I am going to be looking at all of them, and yeah, I'm just gonna end this video right here. I will see you guys in the next.